Now that these supports are out, it's time to start pulling apart the rotten stuff that's under here. It looks pretty bad, doesn't it? This actually occurred from a leaky window the other side of the bulkhead up there, and it got caught underneath the freezer and rotted it all out. The crossarm, it's all good solid timber there. This crossarm, it looks like it's got a little bit of damage there, possibly a bit of termite damage in there anyway. I'll check that out later. That's all soft here as well, but good here. Now, going around, this is going to have to be chiselled out to see what's really going on in there. But I'm glad to make a start on these. I've been worried about this for some time. This remarkably strong, just a little bit of caving in of this these strengthening strips, and up the front here, yeah, the strengthening strip wasn't that strong, but it's not vital, it's only a stiffener, and the crossarm's possibly in good nick, though it's delaminating there. Anyway, time to get stuck into it. Yeah. It's a little bit too dark in here to really see what I'm doing, so before I get too carried away with this, I need to put in the hatch up here to let in some light. Okay, the hole has been cut, the holes have been drilled. First goes in the riser, like so, lifting it up a bit out of water, possibly on the deck. Screw that in. It's all going to be epoxied in, but first I spray all the metal parts, including the screws, with WD-40 in case it needs to be disassembled later. There it is. It's in. And wow, check out the red light. Amazing. Woohoo. Love it. Yeah, really pleased with that. There's quite a wide range of talents that the workers you can get here have, ranging from fairly useless to absolutely brilliant. Now check this out. I'll let Gemma have a good go at these, in fairing them and painting them, and look at them. It looks like moulded marzipan. Absolutely brilliant. Fantastic job, Gemma. It's hard to keep things dry, things like you would. When it rains here, it really rains, and it's hard to keep all sorts of things dry. I'd better not turn that light on. It's even hard to keep your bed dry, to be honest. One thing you don't need here is an automatic defrosting freezer, because the electricity company kindly turns the power off for you nearly every day, sometimes for over 12 hours. Not that this freezer actually freezes anything, but there you go. So obviously what I'm working around is not only the tides, but also power outages and the rain. You might think it's a bit strange of me to say this, but I'm actually pleased that the rot line continues all the way along here, along the edge of the bed. It helps to explain what's happening on the other side. This crack I'm now digging out, and initially I thought the bow wave from the armour was totally responsible, pounding underneath. No doubt it contributed, but now I know what the real story is. I'm confident that the repair will be good. Plywood pieces now all cut out and pretty much ready to glue in. It'll come up good. Oh, still a bit to go there. Most of it's in. And at least it's fair. Bit of a messy job under here. It's all good and tight. Screws to hang onto the wood as I put it in. Bloody hell. Bits of trees keep falling down here. They're damn dangerous actually. Oh, and when you thicken up the epoxy, the more filler you put in, the less it sticks to what it's supposed to. The more thin it is, the more it actually penetrates. So you try to find a compromise. And sometimes it sags, but at least I know that this epoxy is really sticking into the wood, which is the most important thing. I can just grind this sort of stuff off. Oops, the stuff stuck there. Restoring a boat like this, everything's got to be done in the right order. Of course, first it was making the boat watertight, both from the bottom and from the top. Then making everything strong is important, cutting out all the rotting spots, like under the wings here. Now, you might think it's a pretty simple job this, but in actual fact it was pretty damn complicated. Pieces had to be accurately calculated, measured out, and put in the right order. This was the first one to go in, and this one, number 2, number 3, there's a join just over the other side there, and number 4, all glued in. It was, as I said, not that simple. I had to, what I do is I find somewhere where there's a right angle, and that gives me the 2 axes to work off, and make this sort of a diagram for myself, and then cut the pieces out like so. That was for a strengthening piece in the cross arm. Speaking of bits of wood falling from the sky, branches coming off the trees, one of these branches actually came down on my thatched roof, went right through it, right there, which is right under my bed. It was terrifying. You know what I mean. I was right here on my bed when it happened, and Danny the caretaker quickly came and put a tarp over the area. Thanks mate. Well, with that area well underway, now to the next cross arm, and we have got this. It looks like it was fiberglassed on this side, but not on that side. The water integrity of it was somehow compromised, and water got in, couldn't get out. And this is what we've got. Let's have a look at the other cross arms. This one surprises me because this is where it was jacked up, and it all seems really good, which is, as I said, surprising, because above there I know it's not really in good nick at all. And the other one is here. This one's going to be interesting. This turns out to be not such a big problem at all, though it might look a little bit messy. The actual structural timbers are not affected at all. It's all good and strong. It's just the plywood which has been rotted out. Look at the gap there. I don't know if you can see, but there's a 5mm gap between the layers. Not that it really matters. What happened here was the window that was there, which I've now taken care of, leaked, and it's the plywood, and the plywood only that has become rotten, and that'll be an easy fix. These are the lips to the hatches that these are the lids for. I'm talking about this raw wood here. These lips are going to be glued to the hull itself. They're not being glued to this. You'll notice that there's here little bits of plastic tape to stop it from sticking. I'm just making sure that this is going to be a perfect fit. Oh, okay, you can see the other side now. A short time ago you couldn't see it. Yuck. Well, it's the 23rd of September, 10 months down the track. Been some serious delays over the last couple of weeks due to the rains, but still making progress.